The rumor didn't begin with a headline. It began with a shadow slipping across a glass wall in a late-night practice room, the kind of reflection that only appears when the city is quiet and the building is breathing on its own. Jungkook lingered after rehearsal, sweat cooling on his skin, the echo of music still ringing in his ears. Somewhere far away, a camera shutter clicked, capturing nothing clearly, yet somehow capturing everything people wanted to believe. Across the river, Winter stared at her phone in the dim light of a van that hummed through Seoul's sleeping streets. The city lights painted fleeting constellations on the window beside her, and she watched them pass like memories she hadn't lived yet. A message notification blinked, then vanished before she could read it. The driver asked if she was okay. She smiled, the practiced smile of someone who had learned to carry storms behind her eyes. The next morning, the internet woke up hungry. A grainy photo surfaced on a forum, two silhouettes framed by neon, a rumor written between pixels. No faces, no proof, only a story waiting to be told by strangers who loved endings more than beginnings. By noon, the rumor had learned how to walk on its own, striding from platform to platform, gathering details it had never earned. In the cafe beneath his studio, Jungkook scrolled past his name in bold letters, paired with Winter's in a way that felt too intimate for strangers to arrange. He closed the app, then opened it again, as if repetition might change the truth. The barista called his order. The coffee tasted bitter, but he drank it anyway, because bitterness had become familiar. Winter's phone buzzed in the makeup chair. Her manager sighed softly, the way people sigh when they've learned that silence can be a shield. "Ignore it," he said, though both of them knew ignoring a storm doesn't stop the rain. She nodded, eyes tracing the mirror, watching herself become someone the world expected, layer by careful layer. Fans gathered like tides, some gentle, some crashing. Messages bloomed with hearts and warnings, with congratulations and accusations, with fantasies dressed as concern. Every sentence pulled them farther from the small, ordinary truths of two people trying to live between schedules and spotlights. It was strange how affection could feel like surveillance when multiplied by millions. At night, Jungkook practiced alone, the studio lights dimmed low. He let the music carry him into the kind of focus that erased headlines. In the mirror, he saw himself and the reflection of a life that didn't belong entirely to him anymore. The rumor pressed against the glass of his thoughts, persistent, waiting to be acknowledged. Winter stepped onto a rooftop to breathe air that didn't smell like hairspray or stage lights. The city hummed below her, and she hummed back, a melody without lyrics. The rumor found her there too, drifting in through notifications, slipping between breaths. She wondered when stories started to own the people they were written about. Their agencies released statements that were careful without being cold, words shaped to protect without promising more than they could give. Official language moved like a shield raised at the right angle, deflecting heat but never stopping curiosity. The rumor paused, then learned to speak in questions instead of claims. In a rehearsal hallway, Jungkook crossed paths with Winter for the first time in months. The moment was ordinary and electric at once, a nod of recognition, a quiet greeting exchanged between people who understood what it meant to be seen without being known. The cameras weren't there, but the feeling of being watched lingered, as if the walls themselves remembered everything. Winter laughed at something he said, and the sound startled them both with its ease. For a heartbeat, the rumor loosened its grip, unable to compete with the simple gravity of shared understanding. Then the hallway door opened, and the world rushed back in, loud and demanding. The rumor grew more elaborate as the days passed, stitching together timelines from coincidences, building castles from shadows. People argued over what love should look like when it belongs to stars. Some swore they could read truths in reflections, in lyrics, in the tilt of a smile caught mid-frame. Jungkook learned to move through crowds with a softer footprint, to let the noise pass through him like wind through trees. He wrote late at night, words he never planned to share, stories about ordinary days and quiet victories. The rumor could not touch the pages where he kept his own voice. Winter returned to practice with a steadiness that surprised even her. She found comfort in choreography, in the certainty of movement. When the music swelled, the rumor shrank to a distant echo, a rhythm she could step around without losing her balance. Fans continued to build narratives, some kind, some cruel, all certain. The rumor found fuel in certainty, in the human need to know more than what is given. It learned to wear concern as a costume, to call itself curiosity, to pass itself off as care. One evening, Jungkook stood at a window and watched rain stitch silver threads across the dark. He imagined a life where moments were allowed to be small, where a conversation could be just a conversation, where laughter didn't become evidence. The thought felt rebellious in its simplicity. Winter sent a message to a friend, a single line about missing normal days. The reply came back with a heart and a reminder to protect her softness. She tucked the phone away and let the city breathe with her, counting breaths until the noise inside her settled. The rumor met resistance in unexpected places. Some fans asked for boundaries, for kindness, for room to let artists be human. Their voices were quieter than the roar, but they carried a different weight, like anchors dropped into deep water. Time passed the way it always does, reshaping storms into weather. The rumor shifted, faded in some corners, flared in others. Jungkook and Winter continued to work, to show up, to build performances from discipline and desire. The world watched, but the watching changed nothing about the work that still needed to be done. In moments between schedules, Jungkook found peace in small rituals, tying his shoes slowly, listening to old songs, breathing before stepping into light. The rumor learned to wait for him outside those moments, patient and persistent, but no longer all-powerful. Winter learned to let the noise pass like static between stations. She grounded herself in the feel of the floor beneath her feet, in the count of the beat, in the warmth of the people who knew her name without attaching a headline to it. Somewhere along the way, the rumor lost its urgency. It became one story among many, a wave in an ocean of attention that never truly rests. People moved on to new mysteries, new shadows, new reflections to decode. The city kept glowing at night, indifferent to narratives. Windows reflected lives that could never be fully captured by a lens. In those reflections, two artists continued forward, carrying their own truths quietly, the way one carries a fragile flame through a crowded room. And if the rumor ever brushed too close, they learned to step aside, to let it pass, to keep walking anyway. The story the world wanted would always be louder than the truth the world was given. But between practice rooms and rooftops, between mirrors and rain, there remained a quieter story, one that belonged only to those who lived it.